The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Marcus Webb stood before the assembled representatives of 47 star systems. His dress uniform felt heavy under the weight of countless alien eyes, some literal, others operating on spectrums humans couldn't perceive without assistance. "Your application for membership is amusing," the Crithian delegate hissed, its translator rendering the words with barely concealed contempt. The creature's crystalline form refracted the chamber's light into dancing patterns across the walls. "You wish to contribute to the Council's defensive fleet with your, what did you call them? Kinetic weapons." A ripple of what the translator interpreted as laughter spread through the assembly. Marcus kept his expression neutral, though his jaw tightened imperceptibly. The Vexorian representative, a being of pure energy contained within a magnetic field, spoke next. "Forgive our amusement, Ambassador Webb, but your species proposes to defend against the Devourers with chemical propellants and metal projectiles. We abandoned such primitive technology 3,000 years ago. Our plasma lance systems," the Crithian continued, "can vaporize a Devourer cruiser from 3 light seconds away. Our quantum disruptors can phase-shift matter at the molecular level. Your guns." The word dripped with derision. "They require physical ammunition. They overheat. They jam. They are, in essence, controlled explosions barely contained within metal tubes." Marcus allowed himself a small smile. "That's an accurate description, yes. Then you understand why we cannot," the Vexorian began. "I understand that you're losing," Marcus interrupted, his voice cutting through the chamber like one of humanity's ancient swords. "I understand that the Devourers have adapted to every weapon system you've thrown at them. I understand that you've lost 17 systems in the past year alone, and that your casualty projections suggest total collapse within 5 years." The chamber erupted in indignant protests, but Marcus pressed on, raising his voice. "And I understand that you're desperate enough to listen to a primitive species that only achieved faster-than-light travel 20 years ago." The Council's arbiter, an ancient being known only as the Witness, raised one appendage for silence. "Speak, human. Convince us." Marcus gestured, and a holographic display materialized above the chamber floor. 3 weeks ago, the Devourers attacked our colony at New Texas. Population, 40,000. Defenders, 1 undermanned garrison with outdated equipment by your standards. He paused. "We didn't lose a single civilian." The display showed footage of the battle. Devourer bioships, massive organic monstrosities that had devastated dozens of Council worlds, descended upon the colony's shields. The first wave of plasma and energy weapons from Council-supplied defense platforms washed over the creatures, and was promptly absorbed, the bioships' adaptive hides shifting to neutralize the threat just as they had countless times before. "Your weapons are predictable," Marcus explained. "Plasma operates at specific temperatures. Energy weapons function on known frequencies. The Devourers are biological supercomputers. They adapt, overcome, and consume." The footage continued. The colony shields failed. The Devourers landed. And then, the sound of gunfire erupted through the chamber's speakers. Humans in combat armor emerged from fortified positions, and the air filled with tracer rounds, explosive shells, and missile contrails. The Devourers screeched, a sound the translator couldn't properly render, as their adaptive biology encountered something it couldn't quickly compensate for, kinetic energy. A .50 caliber round doesn't care about energy shields or adaptive hides. It doesn't operate on a frequency that can be neutralized. It's simply 14 grams of copper-jacketed lead moving at 2,800 feet per second, carrying momentum that must be obeyed by the fundamental laws of physics. Each bullet is different, Marcus continued as the Council watched in stunned silence. Different velocities, different angles, different compositions. From small arms to artillery, every single projectile presents a unique kinetic signature. The Devourers can't adapt fast enough. The footage showed Devourer warriors, creatures that had shrugged off plasma blasts that could melt starship hulls, being torn apart by sustained machine gun fire. Their regenerative capabilities, formidable against energy weapons, couldn't keep pace with the sheer volume of physical trauma. But surely, the Crithian delegate protested weakly, once they adapt. To what? Marcus interrupted. To momentum? To kinetic energy? Those aren't technologies, counselor. They're laws of physics. You can't adapt to being hit by a freight train. You can only try to be tougher than the train, and we've spent our entire existence making bigger trains. He changed the display to show a railgun installation. This is our latest contribution to New Texas's defenses. It accelerates a tungsten rod to a significant fraction of light speed. The impact yields are comparable to your plasma lances, but there's no energy signature to absorb or adapt to. It's just mass times velocity, and the devourers bleed from it the same as they bleed from everything else that hits them hard enough. Lieutenant Commander Rebecca Foster, Marcus's military attaché, stepped forward. We've also developed specialized ammunition. High-explosive incendiary rounds for their bioships. Depleted uranium penetrators for their armor. Flechette shells that fragment on impact. Each presents a different challenge, and while they're adapting to one, we're hitting them with 5 others. Primitive, Foster continued with a fierce grin, doesn't mean ineffective. It means proven. Reliable. Unpredictable to an enemy that's never faced it. Your energy weapons are elegant, counselors. Our weapons are crude. But crude works. The witness leaned forward, ancient eyes studying the humans with new interest. What do you propose? Arm your fleet with human kinetic weapons as a complement to your existing systems, Marcus said. The Devourers have adapted to energy warfare. Introduce them to something they can't simply evolve past. Teach your soldiers what we learned 10,000 years ago on Earth, sometimes the oldest solutions are still the best ones. And in return, the Vexorian asked. Full council membership. Access to your medical technology, your faster-than-light networks, your agricultural science. We bring the weapons. You bring everything else. Partnership, not charity. The council deliberated for 3 standard hours. When the witness finally spoke, its voice carried the weight of decision. Your proposal is accepted, Ambassador Webb. Welcome to the Galactic Council. As Marcus left the chamber, Foster fell into step beside him. Think it'll work, sir? Marcus patted the sidearm at his hip, a genuine Earth artifact, a Colt 1911 that had belonged to his great-grandfather. Lieutenant, we didn't climb to the top of Earth's food chain with plasma cannons. We did it with pointy sticks and rocks. Then we made better sticks and better rocks. The aliens laughed at our primitive weapons. He smiled coldly. They won't laugh when we pull the trigger. 6 months later, the Devourer advance had stalled. For the first time in their recorded history, they faced an enemy they couldn't simply adapt away, because there was nothing to adapt to except the immutable laws of physics. Humanity had entered the galactic stage not with a whisper, but with a bang. Literally.